President-elect Bongbong Marcos' move to take on the Agriculture Department is drawing mixed reactions from the sector. But DA officials were quick to defend the incoming president, saying Marcos Jr. could fast-track much-needed reforms in the industry. Prices of meals in eateries and fast food chains have also gone up, forcing patrons and longtime customers to cut down on their orders. And the health department has given the green light on booster shots for 12 to 17-year-olds. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Jess De Los Santos. Groups are split on President-elect Bongbong Marcos declaring himself as temporary chief of the Agriculture Department. Marlene Alcaide with the report.
President-elect Bongbong Marcos' move to designate himself as the agriculture chief has received mixed reactions from the public. But this is not the first time that a president held a cabinet post. Former President Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo became the defense secretary, while her predecessor Era Estrada led the Interior Department. Even Marcos Jr.'s father once took on the helm of the Defense Department. Some agri groups have welcomed the leadership of the president-elect at the DA.
Welcome news. Ibig sabihin niyan ang ating Pangulo talagang concern sa ating local at agri producers.
Hopefully, mabilis ang pangyayari, mabilis ang pagbabago at kinikilala niya na krisis talaga, malala itong iiwanan ni Secretary Dar na problema. Actually, dapat kawaan siya dahil mamanahin niya problema.
Former DA Chief Manny Piñol described it as a brilliant move.
Napakalaking bagay ito para sa agriculture. And I believe that this is going to change everything. No? In as far as the sector which had long been neglected is concerned, this is the big break that the sector actually has been waiting for.
But for kilusang magbubukid ng Pilipinas, Marcos Jr. will just worsen the country's agricultural issues.
Patunayan po niya yung kanyang sinasabing back to basic, increase yung sinasabi niya food production, kasama po mechanization.
Outgoing DA Secretary William Dar begs to defer, saying the president can focus more on the issues since he will lead the agency himself. Dar added that their recommendations for the next administration are now ready and that they are coordinating with Marcos Jr.'s camp for a smooth transition over at the DA. Marlene Alcaide, we are One News.
Now, one other DA official welcomes Marcos Jr. as the agency's next secretary. Speaking to Business World Live earlier, Undersecretary Fermin Adriano said that having the incoming president lead the DA could translate to more investments. He explained that there has been a consistent underinvestment in agriculture in the last 20 years.
I think we particularly welcome that because once the president says that, okay, to Congress or to our economic managers that you have to put more money to agriculture, then we would not have a lot of objections.
However, Adriano said that Marcos Jr. will have to face surging food prices in the next few months, as well as possible social unrest over food shortage. He added that the next admin would need about 245 billion pesos a year to achieve its campaign promise of bringing down the price of rice to 20 pesos per kilo.
Unfortunately, it will keep on increasing across the board this coming 6 months. The main reason is the increase in production costs.
Fast food chains and eateries are also hiking up prices as costs of food production gets more expensive. Shaila Francisco with the story.
This karinderya in Mandaluyong have hiked prices by 10 to 20 pesos amid the non-stop rise in food costs.
Nagugulat din sila, ba't tumaas? Kaya ngayon, pinapaliwanag namin, ma'am kasi tumaas po ako yung bilihin. Hindi naman kasi na yung permanenteng bentahan ganun pa rin. Kaya kailangan talaga tumaas ng kahit papano. Pag hindi kami nagtaas ng konting-konti, walang mangyayari, walang kikitain.
This is why customers like Jonah are forced to buy only half of their usual order to save up. She says she sticks to eating at karinderias during lunchtime because it is still cheaper than other options.
Mas mura sa karinderya talaga kumpara sa fast food. Yung dating 50, 79 na ngayon. So, medyo ramdam din much better karinderya trippings muna or much better kung mas magbabaon na lang. Baon na lang talaga ang diskarte.
This month, some netizens also observed that prices in fast food chains have gotten more expensive. One extra rice, for example, is now equivalent to the price of 1 kilo of rice in markets. Currently, prices of some meals in fast food chains cost 66 to 140 pesos. This is higher by 1 to 15 pesos from previous months. Still, customers are not bothered by the rise in prices.
Kahit tumataas, syempre masarap pa rin yung hinahanap-hanap pa rin namin. Ako nang mag-adjust sa presyo nila. Hinahanap ko yung makaka-less ako. At least makakain na kahit makaka-save pa ako, nakakain pa ako.
Sa halip na may rice, chicken, ito na lang na price na lang at saka yung hamburger na lang po. Medyo tipid at saka medyo medyo diet din ang kaunti. Kasi sobrang tabako na kung chicken pa rin at saka yung rice. Sulit pa rin.
In a statement, Jollibee Foods Corporation said the rising prices of food, oil, and other commodities in the global market affect their pricing. While they offer promos, it may not be as frequent as before to manage costs. McDonald's Philippines, meanwhile, says its global supply chain network and strong partnership with suppliers allow them to manage costs. They assure customers that their price increases are below inflation level and the quality of products are maintained. To be able to do this, McDonald's Philippines continue to offer promos in their stores, delivery, and third-party apps. The group Resto PH noted that the whole F&B industry is now dealing with higher prices, but smaller stores like Carinderia are faster to react.
Whatever they buy in the market in the morning, sa palengke, that affects their selling price at lunch and dinner time. For restaurants like us, we have stockpile. We need to have a longer commitment for our supply. We need to secure our supply for weeks, sometimes months in advance. And that buys us some time.
On the other hand, the Trade Department said they don't regulate prices in restaurants. But here's their advice to the public.
Consumers will have a choice eh. Kung marami namang restaurants, pwede tayong maghanap ng dun sa mas mura. Kung talagang gusto nila at mag-avail nitong mga produkto na to kahit nagtataasan ng presyo, they can look for promotional products na binibenta, hindi ba? Naka-package yan. Siguraduhin nila kahit nagtaas ang presyo, kung ano yung binibili nila, yun ang makukuha nila.
Shaila Francisco, we are One News.
More stories after this short break. Stay with us here on One News. And you're still watching One News Now. I'm Jess De Los Santos. Duterte Youth Chairman Ronald Cardema and his wife are asking the Supreme Court to review the COMELEC's decision allowing Rowena Guanzon to represent the P3 PWD party list as its first nominee. Cardema insists that it violates existing laws and COMELEC rules as the deadline for substitution has already ended. In turn, former COMELEC Commissioner Guanzon filed unjust vexation and libel complaints against Cardema. Back in 2019, Guanzon voted to disqualify Cardema, who was deemed overage to be a youth party list representative.
Ang masabi ko lang dyan, what is libel and unjust vexation, yung annoying to her, if you are telling the truth about her? Ito ay katotohanan, kaya nga dito tayo nagfa-file sa Supreme Court.
Incoming Bangko Sentral Governor Felipe Medalla says that the current peso-dollar exchange rate resulted from a stronger greenback. Medalla told the chiefs that high interest rates in the U.S. helped push the dollar up. The Philippine peso closed at 54 pesos against the dollar, its lowest level since October of 2018. Now, when asked about claims that the central bank is not hiking interest rates enough, Medalla had this to say.
If you make the interest rate 10%, you'll see a very strong peso. But why would you want to do that? If you kill the economy, imports will drop. So those guys who are saying, "Oh, we're not raising interest rates enough," we are doing a balancing act. What we care about is Philippine inflation, not the exchange rate.
Here's a quick look at today's other top stories. The Health Department has approved the rollout of Pfizer booster shots for minors aged 12 to 17. The DOH says 9.4 million people in the age group are eligible for the booster vaccination. Senator-elect Chis Escudero has expressed support for Majority Leader Mig Zubiri to be the next Senate President. With this, he will be joining the Senate's majority bloc. Senator Coco Pimentel, one of two minority members so far, was previously eyeing Escudero to be part of their team. And the PBA has sanctioned Magnolia forward Calvin Abueva over unsportsmanlike conduct that led to his ejection last Sunday. Abueva was slapped with a 10,000 peso fine and has been suspended for 1 game. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Jess De Los Santos. We are One News.